Huh. Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, as Nancy Pelosi is concerned about Trump's access to the nuclear football, as Trump is getting isolated further and further from everybody, as Twitter has now banned him permanently, which is his majority of viewers, there is the tendency to act as a caged lion or a trapped lion. But there's also some concern that I heard about watching MSNBC News under Nicole Wallace's show about the concern of the national security threat, not just by Trump, but by our enemies. Not Trump's friends, who are our enemies, but yes, not our previous allies who are now our enemies under Trump. Because we don't know what to expect. We do know enough to know that already our enemy nations are having military discussions with their leaders as to how to proceed and take advantage of this weakness in America right now. Not just necessarily for attacking America per se, but also to advance attacks of their convenience, like North Korea wants to invade South Korea. Perfect opportunity while America is in crisis. Putin is surrounding Europe. Excellent opportunity to go right into Crimea and Ukraine and other places and solidify those positions and inch forward to see how far they can get during our American crisis. And so I can recall that one of our prophets of the Brighamite Mormon Church had talked about nuclear weapons, but I found another one first, as I'll try to see if I can go back to find the one I was thinking of. In 2008, the presidential election was going on, and AdventuresinMormonism.com is covering this news account. It was on December 14th, 2008. Utah prophet predicts nuclear holocaust. And he immediately starts off by assuring everybody, no, it's not an over-the-pulpit first presidency letter that somehow missed, or yet another rumored fast and testimony meeting talk. See, Mormons know exactly what I'm talking about when I make my criticism videos. You guys know. That's why you're so pissed. It's because one of your own is whistleblowing on you. And he's talking about Leland Freeborn of Parowan, Utah. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Parowan, I believe that is the location where the prophet in the movie Contact was all upset about science speaking to our God, and then blew up the machine that the space aliens gave to what's her name? But yeah, Parowan always seems to have the nutcases, doesn't it? However, in 2008, this Leland Freeborn He passed more than 100,000 hits on his survivalist website. I have no idea if he's still around. I'm not going to check. I don't really care. But it's interesting that the guy then quotes from his website a prophecy. Says, I think that you should hear what my opinion about the Obama election is. That he will not be the next president. I said on my homepage in August that if he lost, to expect to see the riots. Notice he's accusing Democrats of being riotous, violent insurrectionists. Democrats are known as spineless and forgiving and forgetting, and then getting punished by the Republicans for their lenience that 2 Peter 2:13 tells us about. He didn't lose. He didn't lose, but the story is not finished yet. I still think that he may begin the riots before Christmas 2008. So remember, 14 December, and he was wrong about the election, but now he's saying that something is going to happen before Christmas. But we just had an election now by a person who incited rioting, insurrection at the Capitol. You see how he's seemingly off but on? Very interesting and curious. He goes on to talk about these riots, according to his prophecy, will encourage the old, hardline Soviet Guard to seize the moment and rain down nukes on the United States, killing at least 100 million of us. This is now the threat that we are facing because of a president who has attacked Americans, who has attacked the Capitol. And so, we are downwind from Las Vegas. I hope you can survive. Alright, let's see if I can find let's see. Joseph Smith Foundation. What has been said concerning a nuclear attack? I believe the Joseph Smith Foundation is a Joseph Smith's supportive site. I'm not quite sure if I remember them as being critical, at least of Brigham Young, because they're quoting David O. McKay, Joseph Fielding Smith, Harold B. Lee, nuclear war hovering, David O. McKay. They do have references. They're little yellow stuff. Okay, so this is David O. McKay, man may now know for himself. Okay. 1967, compiled by Claire Middlemas. Alright. So, today, as we are hovering over the nations of the earth, the ever-darkening clouds of nuclear war, we are prone to think that righteousness among man is waning. In our own beloved country, a land choice above all other lands, we are grieved and shocked when the Supreme Court renders a decision allowing gay rights and abortion and money to the poor. No, he doesn't say that. That is unconstitutional for the federal government or any state to require a belief in the existence of God. What? Seriously, David O. McKay said this? That we all must have a belief in the existence of God, and otherwise it's unconstitutional? What the bleepity bleep? I'm reading this over and over again. Yeah. David O. McKay wanted to force everybody to believe in the existence of God. There you go, breaking news. Oh, dear God. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ. Oh, man. We are prone to think that let's see, where am I? As qualification for public office. Also, we experience apprehension when we know that enemies to our Republican form of government. See, he's close to getting it correct, as everybody else is trying to say for democracy. He just needs to add constitutional Republican form, and then he'd have it correct. Are becoming more blatant. When we see political demagogues seemingly more successful, drunkenness and immorality flauntingly defiant, seeing these conditions, we wonder whether mankind is getting better or worse. Okay, so that had nothing to do with the prophecy of nuclear war, guys. But we did get breaking news. David O. McKay wanted to force a belief in God. Yes, because taking away agency is Heavenly Father's plan of happiness, isn't it, Mormons? So Joseph Fielding Smith. Now, it doesn't say junior or senior here. Answers to gospel questions. This would be junior, right? Because senior, yeah, 1957 to 1966. So this is junior. The use of such dreadful instruments of destruction as missiles and nuclear bombs could create great havoc. Well, you call that a prophecy? Could. And bring untold destruction in the case of war. That war will eventually come. Yeah, here we go. That war will eventually come is inevitable. But we should have faith in the Lord that we will be immune from the radiation burns that will tear the flesh from our limbs and the sockets to pop out of our eyes. That he will protect those who humble themselves and keep his commandments. There are predictions. Only the wicked will be destroyed. Have faith and you will be saved. Yeah, like Nelson. The healing power of gratitude will cure you of coronavirus. Yeah, I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ. All right, Harold B. Lee. We heard him reply in answer to the question, which was J. Reuben Clark Jr., as to why he had put his life-saving I'm missing an ass, guys, into his presently owned Grantsville Ranch. This is the one I was thinking of. J. Reuben Clark Jr. This is all I have to leave to my family when I die. And if they are not too lazy to work it, they need to slave. I didn't have kids to let them be lazy. They need to be put to work. They won't starve. I have told them that when the first atomic bomb is dropped here in America, that they are to go out there on the ranch and stay until it is over. J. Reuben Clark Jr. Ranch. I wonder if it's still around. The Clark Historic Farm. Okay, clarkhistoricfarm.org. Here's a Wikipedia thing for it. Well, it's Clark Historic Farm is more. I need location. Grantsville. Founder of Grantsville. First owned by James McBride, founder of Grantsville. Huh. Wasn't it Brigham Young that said nobody's allowed in Grantsville, and they still went anyway? I dated a woman from Grantsville. Very sad and tragic. But not just because she no longer wanted to date me for her life. So yeah, I have told them that when the first atomic bomb is dropped here in America, that they are to go out there on the Grantsville Ranch, the family ranch, and stay until it is over. That's where the nuclear testing, nuclear waste disposal is out over by. This last seemed not only to be wise counsel, but also a prophecy, as we testified it at Fast and Testimony meeting. Don't you think it will be divine judgment rather than a cosmic accident if the fabulous exploits of man suddenly become the instruments of total destruction? Now, you saw on the news just last week an article predicting that the greatest calamity which should follow a nuclear attack would be the destruction of the birds. Which prey on harmful insects and keeping them from overrunning the earth. The cockroach invasion! Oh my god! Forget about the nuclear attack, we've got cockroaches! Oh my god, this is hilarious! Never a dull moment in the Mormon Church. If we could only remember that the Lord has told us that preceding the second coming, He will send forth flies upon the face of the earth, which shall take hold of the inhabitants thereof, and shall eat their flesh, and shall cause maggots to come in upon them. Yeah, that's because they're dead. That's what happens when you're dead. Yeah, flesh shall fall off from their bones, and their eyes shall fall from their sockets. See, I know this. I'm Mormon. I study my scriptures. I'm an obedient Mormon boy. Well, shall we say that if those things come, that it will just be an accident? That it will be because of divine judgment of God, because of our unfaithfulness and unwillingness to pay tithing, to get the church out of debt. I need to go faster. And I'll do this last supporting statement from J. Reuben Clark Jr. And then they've got modern stuff from McConkie, Maxwell, and Maxwell. But I won't read those. Harold B. Lee stated, "We heard him, J. Reuben Clark Jr., reply in answer to a question as to why he had a life-saving in Grantsville." Now you put Grantsville. This is all I have to leave to my family when I die. Okay, so he quotes the same thing. Harold B. Lee, president of the church. So, alrighty. Mormonism and the nuclear bomb.